part of it. If I tell them to read this, and after they read this, they'll never eat bread again. Or they'll be aware of it. And then you ate the meat. All meat, chicken, fish, dairy, eggs, which if you go according to this book right here, the China study, this is done by Dr. Colin Campbell of Cornell University. And you go to any page in this book, basically says, if you eat meat, you get cancer. That's all it says. Any page in this book, they'll show you how eating protein is a direct cause of cancer. And he did a study on 9,000 people. 9,000 people. And he did it in China, with certain provinces in China, they did not have cancer. He didn't know why. So those provinces, no meat, guess what? No cancer. The percentage of meat that went up in their diet, that percentage of cancer went up. Because I deal with people all day long. And another gentleman came here yesterday. Pancreatic cancer, kidney cancer. He said, what can I do? He said, well, the doctor told me eat no fat. So what does no fat look like? He said, well, I'm going to eat cold cuts. Gotta get out of your diet. He said, egg beats, gotta get that out of the diet. Which we say anytime you eat a piece of meat, that's something called uric acid. You know what uric acid is? Anytime you eat a piece of meat, anytime you eat a piece of chicken, anytime you have fish, anytime you have dairy, it's something called uric acid. You know what uric acid is? No. Uric acid is urine. You know what urine is? What it is, it's the undigested urine that stays in the flesh part of the meat. And once you cook it, you cannot get rid of it. So essentially, when you're eating a piece of chicken, that's uric acid in it. And you know what uric acid will do to your heart? It'll kill you. There's a book over there called Alkalize or Die. So the body understands that. 75 trillion cells in the body understand that. They want to be in a loving circumstance at all times. So what they have to do is they have to release calcium from the hip area in order to neutralize that uric acid. You know what's called after a while? Osteoporosis. Can't get near the heart. You know where it goes to? Comes calcium uric acid, can't go near the heart. Goes to the hands. You know what that's called? Arthritis. Goes to the feet. Gout. It swells up the kidney. Say for example, you take the same meat, right? Besides the uric acid, you take a cow and you kill it. You know what color it turns to? Purple. Now the meat that people eat, is it purple or not? They have to put a dye in it. They put a special dye so the average person would eat purple cow. They also have to put perfume in it because when it dyes, it smells. So keep in mind, the women, which affects 1 out of every 6 women today, will go to their doctors this year because of tumor. 1 out of every 6, a known fact. No, 1 in 3 will, 1 in 6 will die. It's a known fact. They'll go to the doctor because they have tumors. Say for example, the body has this dye in it and has this purple in it, and urine has this uric acid in urine. What's the body going to do with it? What's the body going to do with it? You know? Store it. And for women, guess where's the best place to store it? Restroom. That means every time you eat a piece of meat, chicken, fish, dairy with the uric acid in it, when you get that phone, the dye, the perfume, the body has to store it. And the women, they store it in the breast area.
You know what? Can you start that sentence again before you send it to the
What?
Before when you say the same exact thing you were saying, but then you say, can somebody grab the phone?
Fruit, a lot of leafy greens. I eat potatoes just to balance me out.
What kind of greens are the healthiest?
Doesn't matter. I mean, my greatest teacher is a monkey. I always say to myself, you know, what would a monkey do? And that's how I follow. In order to eat a food, it has to be 3 qualifications. For me to look at a food, it has to be three qualifications. This is by Dr. Robinson. He's out of Oklahoma. Anyway, number 1, grown in nature. Number 2, found a tree, bush, or vine. And number 3, has to be yummy to the tongue. If it doesn't meet those 3 requirements, I would question eating.
How about the eating?
It doesn't meet that requirement. That's not most of my diet. Most of my diet is fruit and vegan. At least 80% of my diet is based on that food. 85%.
Now, is there any vegetable or fruit that you wouldn't eat or wouldn't recommend?
I would, not that I wouldn't recommend, I would say to anybody, you eat what you like. Like in the raw food world, like hundreds of different authorities. And I say to somebody, don't listen to me. Do not listen to me because I don't know. You do what you feel is best for you.
Are there any of those vegetables or fruits that aren't recommended or aren't as healthy?
I'm mostly fruit leaf green, which means I always go by the monkey theory. And I used to work on a farm, right? I used to work on a farm and I picked broccoli. You ever pick broccoli on the farm? You have to go down on your hands and knees with a knife to go like that. That's one broccoli. And how about carrots? You ever get carrots? You have to go with carrots, you have to get a shovel, go in the ground and dig it out and then clean it out. And I said to myself, will a monkey eat it? Absolutely. A monkey will never go with a knife. He won't do it. Our DNA structure is 99.4% similar to that of a monkey, one of the monkeys. And they eat fruit and leafy greens. And they, most of their diet is fruit and leafy greens. 99.4% similar to the bonobo monkeys. I don't know how long they live, but I know it's very similar.
So things like cauliflower or broccoli, do they?
I would never. I don't go out of my way either.
Is there any reason though?
Because it doesn't meet that requirement. Yummy to the tongue. That's my theory. Now, also, I would not recommend shallot, onions, radishes, garlic, and ginger. Not yummy to the tongue. Which we're genetically coded to eat food that we like. Which means you understand the principle. We're walking around. We're walking around in nature, and we see an apple on the tree. We're going to eat it. We're not going to go look on the ground with our hands and knees looking for a carrot. It's not.
But how about raw ones? What if someone really likes carrots? Do they really like
Absolutely, they should eat. Absolutely, they should eat. I'm just saying, do not listen to what you feel is best for you. Each of us has an innate wisdom, and that has to be honored. We have 75 trillion, so perfectly clear. Unbelievable. We are miracles in the making. Every moment is a miracle. Every moment is a blessed moment. So I'm really go by, in that sense, I'm really trying to follow that as much as possible. Every moment is a blessed moment filled with love and peace and harmony.
So what makes you decide when you're going to have something that's not in those environments?
When I'm emotionally off balance.
So if you chose to have the potatoes, you said steamed potatoes.
Steamed potatoes.
Was there a craving for it? Was there something emotional going on? What makes you choose something?
I chose potatoes because I was hungry and I didn't want any food. I was saturated with food. I eat anywhere from 15 to 20 pieces of food a day. So I wanted something to switch that.
What are the grains that you usually make?
I like romaine. Try to get as much romaine, kale, and collard spinach, as much as possible. And most of the time I blend my greens. I don't eat them straight up. The reason why I blend it because all greens have something called cellulose. Very hard for the body to break it down. So when you blend it, it breaks down the cellulose, so therefore easy absorption by the body.
And what about that smart bread? So how do you
What?
make that? The smart bread that you make, is that what it's called?
Living bread. That's what does that mean?
Like we make living bread here.
We make living. We have I would say we probably have the best cafe in the country. No one I know, there isn't a cafe that can even come remotely close to what we have. Not in the whole country. The reason why I can say it is because we're very considerate of what we put into our system. Which means a lot of raw food places that are heavy in nuts, heavy in oil, heavy in a lot of complexity. Which, I'm very, very much into simplicity. Which if I'm talking to anybody, we're having a one-on-one conversation. Our body works on that same level. I'm having a one-on-one conversation. Say for example, you have 8 other people. 8. And they're all trying to talk to you. How much of a conversation can I have with 8 people? I don't know.
So tell me about.
So it's one-to-one conversation. And that's the key. The body wants a one-to-one conversation. So say for example you have a cold. Say for example you have a fever. Say for example you have migraine. Say for example you maybe got cancer or something. The first thing I would do is I would put them on a mostly liquid diet or food diet once they gradually work into raw food. We have a speaker right here. Her name was Danielle. She lost her eye. Life fell in her eye. Couldn't see. They give maybe 25% chance of seeing. She came to me and said, listen, go on a mostly juice and smoothie diet, because I know she's all mostly raw. In 4 days they healed themselves. We have another guy who had prostate cancer. He didn't know me, but one of my customers. Put him on mostly water and called a master cleanse. Within 10 days, his prostate count went from 9.5 to 1. My wife was diagnosed with tumors on her neck, breast, and cervix area. Within 3 weeks, she was almost completely healed. The body not worried about digestion energy. With little time spent on digestion, will go to any tumor you have and dissolve it. The cost is nothing.
So what makes your cafe
unique? Well, we push health education. I'm not really focused on food. Some people come here for education, which is every hour on the hour have one success story. Every hour on the hour we'll have a success story. Conversations based on